pick come in here from Storm, going to be that Shadow Priest Destruction Warlock that we did kind of hear them talking about. Very confident so far in this matchup. The move though, going to be running that Rogue Shadow Priest Resto Druid, Absturge once again swapping off that Shaman, which is something that we've been wanting to see here. Let's see if they can get any pressure here in this opening.
Yep, so both the teams running the Shadow Priest, both the teams running the Restoration Druid. Both those classes have been quite popular lately, which I must say is pretty nice for me since I'm playing the Resto Druid and the Shadow Priest as my two main classes. Definitely can't wait to get on Monday, play more of my SP, because it's been a big theme throughout this weekend. Oz with his fantastic success in the midweek, taking down Method Orange. As we see the first set of Infernals coming out from Nozom, he'll be putting Absurge, I suppose, to the test for the first time in this game.
Yeah, we did see a nice little double fear come out there, but I believe it broke there onto Metaphors. WizK ramping up some of that insanity, trying to get some pressure going. Oz as well entering Void form, looking to get some burst going, but not too much happening right yet. We see Nozom going for that double Mortal Coil. Chaos Bolt with a lot of cooldowns activated. This is big damage here onto WizK, onto Peekaboo as well actually here. Caught up in the bash, but a nice silence from WizK should allow Absturge to stabilize here. Both Druids looking pretty even on mana, both of them using their Innovate as quickly as possible so they can regen that cooldown back, so they can kind of just be efficient throughout the fight. I like that from both of these Druids. Absturge so far doing a great job here.
Yeah, he's doing a good job. He's definitely starting to feel a little bit of pain. You can see his blue bar is moving ever so slightly. We don't expect either of these Restoration Druids to be put under too much stress prior to dampening, though honestly, Storm actually having a fair bit of pressure. Peekaboo dropping low, has to trade out the Feint as he gets caught in the Rake Stun. Metaphors has been getting better and better on this Druid. You know, at the start we were very critical of him. He was taking a lot of hits from us on the desk, but he's definitely been putting his work in on the Restoration Druid. He completely re-rolled off of the Resto Shaman, hasn't touched that class in a very long time, certainly in the tournament scene, and he's looking pretty solid here. You know, he's getting his restarts, getting his drinks, and causing pressure, the move forced to retreat.
Yeah, and as you say that, he goes in for another Rake Stun here onto Peekaboo, and he doesn't get too much damage done in that Rake Stun, but that was on Peekaboo's Kidney Shot, which of course allows Nozom here to be free casting and force Peekaboo back behind that pillar. Peekaboo had to use his Cloak of Shadows on one of those Chaos Bolts a little bit earlier on, so he doesn't want to be too risky here, put Absturge too far behind on mana, so he's just going to go ahead and try to re-stealth, or at least get his Kidney Shot cooldown back, but a nice preemptive Iron Bark there from Metaphors on that Smoke Bomb, but Nozom still using his Trinket there, which is honestly showing the move a little bit too much respect there, in my opinion. Metaphors already pre-Iron Bark the Smoke Bomb, but look here, a lot of damage from WizK. Silence, can he combo it with the Fear? He does land that full Fear on the Metaphors. Nozom now in a little bit of trouble here. If WizK can get a couple of purges out, another Kidney Shot here. Metaphors though, coming out of that Fear, should be able to stabilize Nozom for now. Nozom now activating his Dark Soul here, looking for some damage, looking to get the Shadow Fury, Chaos Bolt onto Absturge, I believe, but it gets Shadow Step kicked there by Peekaboo, waiting to get his Kidney Shot cooldown off DR once again here. Now looking to get some bleeds up onto Oz as well. Looking for that. Now actually Metaphors here, big swap by the move, Adrian.
Yeah, this is where Peekaboo's at his best. He loves to just swap around, get pressure wherever he can. Metaphors dropping low, forced to trade out his Demonic Gateway, kite away. Peekaboo in hot pursuit though, he's chasing, he's hunting for the kill here. He's already forced out the Bark Skin and the Trinket. A good Mighty Bash from Metaphor should deny, though he is running toward WizK. Needs to be careful. Peekaboo looking for a cheeky re-stealth. If he's able to land that, he could potentially get a good opener, but he's going to go back over to Nozom. Look at all these Infernals dropping left, right, and center from the Vision of Perfection Azerite Essence here. It's something that they have to be so mindful of on the move, because the Destro Warlock is such a threat. If they do swap over onto Metaphor too much, then Nozom, I mean, he could easily just land a kill.
Yeah, and basically if you're the move, the best case scenario is to just kind of have a decently high mana pool entering dampening. If you can do that, then you're going to be in a pretty good situation. Peekaboo is therefore kind of just ducking in and out, kidney shotting whoever is close, seeing if he can get any openings, because Metaforce is always going to have the mana lead here. Playing in a double wizard composition just allows him to throw up his healing over time effects and then just go back and drink. He's playing very, very safe. because he is that feral affinity as well. He can go for restuffs. He might be going for one right now. Actually, he's going to go ahead and just throw out a couple of healing over time effects. Gets silenced here. Nozom now in a little bit of trouble. WizK activating that Void Form, looking to get some damage gone, but it looks like Metaforce is going to be able to deflect that with the Iron Bark for now. The move again resetting. Upsurge not being able to find any of these drinks, slowly withering down his mana bar for now.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of the goal for Storm. Storm will get infinite resets in this game if they want it. Metaphor can spam, go for those drinks, those resets to get his mana back to full. Upsurge, meanwhile, he has to be very careful. Obviously, the essences help out a lot, and I'm just so happy that Upsurge has swapped over to the Restoration Druid. Previously for the move, you know, they always had the potential offensively, but they just needed the time. They need to be able to stack up to dampening, and with Upsurge on that orange healer there, it is giving them the tools they needed to succeed in this tournament so far. We're starting to hit that dampening mark now, 6% healing reduction for both sides to contend with. Nozom very stable at this moment in time. Metaphor's trinking out his blind on cooldown basically every single time that blind comes through. He trinkets fairly. Nozom with all his defensive cooldowns means that the move really do have to start making some offense happen, but they're just favoring defensive play right now, both WizK and Peekaboo at the pillar.
Yeah, just want to hold on to as much mana as possible. When they have the Vendetta, when they have the Silence, then they can go for big pushes here. Nozom again caught up in a kidney shot, and I actually really think the move is going to be able to take this game based on what we've been seeing so far, because I don't see any like real opening here for Storm other than tapping out Upsurge and kind of getting into a chokehold situation, similar to what we saw Cloud9 do against Method Orange last game. But I just don't see that happening, knowing that Peekaboo is an assassination rogue who has a Mortal Strike effect, and on the flip side, I see a clear win condition here for the move where they go, they kidney shot Nozom, they dispel all of his healing over time effects with WizK, they get a silence onto Metaforce, and then, you know, if they combo that with a Vanish, Sheep Shot, or, you know, Upsurge pushes in and gets a bash, maybe into a Cyclone, I can definitely see them taking down Nozom. I mean, even now, without Peekaboo being on target, just standing next to the pillar, keeping up the Poison Knife, they're managing to get a significant amount of pressure here. Just keep WizK's dots up, spam Purge, and then go for a silence play, and that's going to generate pressure deeper into dampening. That's going to land them a kill. So what the move is doing is really, really good. The main thing that they can lose on is that mana. So Abster just needs to do a good job holding on to his mana bar. We see the Iron Bark actually from Metaforce being activated here. Metaforce dropping low on mana. Nozom has his Dark Soul active, looking to get a few big Chaos Bolts. For now, the Kidney Shot was shutting him down. Oz and Nozom needs to get a big burst on Peekaboo or WizK so they can force him back. It looks like Nozom might just go down here. That's his unending resolve.
Yeah, I didn't actually like that play from Metaphor. He sat down for a drink there. He got about 20% of his mana back, but surely it's not worth trading for the Unending Resolve. Now they won't have that available for Vendetta. This is falling apart here for Storm. Like you say, Z, there's just no openings here. They don't seem to be able to find anything. Upsurge even was able to sit down for a little drink in the midst of all that, and it's just looking better and better for the move. Peekaboo, he has to play it careful, of course. As dampening starts to stack up, it's going to be difficult for him, but WizK can just sit on the pillar. Upsurge as well. Both of them just kind of sit back, deny any dots coming in from Oz, and eventually that Assassination Rogue plus the Spam Purge, we've seen it time and time again against these Destruction Warlocks, will be enough damage to land the kill. 20% dampening right now. Metaphor is going for a reset, resetting his mana to full, but the big story here is that that's the Iron Bark, there's no Unending Resolve, and Vendetta's coming up in about 30 seconds here, Z.
Yeah, and that was a Iron Bark on the Silence. I would have actually maybe liked to see WizK hold on to it. He's going for the Silence into full Fear combination. Metaphors gets the bash. Bear Form gets the full Fear there from WizK, trinketing out of that bash. And here, if the Vendetta was ready here, Nozom would just go down. But I think Nozom might actually just go down regardless of that in about 20 or so seconds from now. When that Vendetta comes back up, the Silence rotating back up, I could easily see a kill happen here onto Nozom. Peekaboo also has his blind ready, so he could look to force out Metaphor's trinket. But right now, Oz doing a huge amount of damage here. Nozom as well is going to have his Infernals back up in about 49 seconds. They need the pressure here on the side of Storm to keep the move at bay, stop them from actually going. And here, Peekaboo actually goes for the Kidney Shot. WizK, though, spell locked, not going to be able to assist him in that. They do, however, force out that Life Grip. Might have not been needed there by Oz. Now, the next Kidney Shot, they're not not really going to have too much defense on the side of Storm, but that Ironbark has rotated back up as an answer for the Vendetta. Nozom still does have his Trinket, Unending Resolve coming back up as well in about a minute. So defense is rotating back up for the side of Storm, and the move they need to go now, they need to go and look for that kidney shot. There it is, blind onto Metaphors. Is he going to sit that? No, he Trinkets out. No Ironbark committed just yet though, and it looks like WizK is not going to commit his silence either. They're just going to go ahead and pull back to the pillar once again on the side of the move.
Yeah, I think that was a good read from Metaphor. I respect trading out the Trinket on the blind because if you fall behind at this stage of dampening, it can definitely be scary, but equally doesn't trade out the Ironbark too early. I think Peekaboo was trying to bait that one a little bit there. This is something that Peekaboo will do. He likes to play this really fast-paced game, swap around a lot, put his bleeds up, make you confused as the healer. It's very difficult to play into him. I know from personal experience, you know, you've got to read him very, very well because he will be very tricky on this rogue, but so far Metaphor's done a good job. We see another kidney shot over onto Nozom. Maybe he's getting a little bit close here. He's actually enabling WizK to do damage to him whilst also line of sighting Oz. I don't think that this kind of pincer maneuver is always worthwhile against the Assassination Rogue because now they basically set up a situation where Oz is the one out the game. He's crowd controlled in a route right now. Meanwhile, the mover getting a 3v1 essentially over onto Nozom. He's dropping very low. Ironbark forced out. This is the Vendetta and the Void Form. Even the Smoke Bomb coming in since Nozom used his Racial there. Unable to Trinket for 20 seconds. Huge damage coming in. Metaphor spamming out the Nourish. There's no crowd control, but can they just burst through? We're at 40% dampening here. The Unending Resolve is forced, and that is huge for the move.
Big Chaos Bolt from Nozom there onto Absturge. He's going to go ahead and deflect with his Trinket, with his Barks, with his Ironbark, with everything here. We see another silence here onto Nozom, and another full kidney shot here. Peekaboo trinketing out of his CC to get that one. A lot of damage being committed here. Concentrated Flames are flying in as well onto Nozom, and now we can see Nozom again going for that summon of his pet that did go down in the midst of things, going for another Chaos Bolt here onto Peekaboo. Peekaboo does have his Feint activated, however, so he should be fine for now. Another Chaos Bolt coming out of that Mortal Coil right there, and now we see Absturge and the whole entirety of the move kind of just go ahead and regroup behind that pillar, but that was a lot of cooldowns exchanged on both sides here. We saw Peekaboo drop the Smoke Bomb, we saw the Vampiric Embrace, we saw Unending Resolve as well from Nozom, so they just need to find that win condition here. There it is. Okay, so that is the Ironbark. If they can go through this, if they have another silence, they could potentially just take the game here, Adrian. 44% dampening.
Yeah, 44% dampening. It appears even the move aren't immune to dampening right now, but they're trying to spin it in their favor here. Peekaboo with that Vendetta coming up in about 30 seconds. Currently no answers available on the side of Storm. Even the mana starting to even out, potentially moving in favor of the move here with that Assassination Rogue. Ironbark comes out from Absurge here to deny some of this damage. This is a lot of cooldowns coming in here from Storm offensively. It's the Void Form. There's two Infernals that come down, one after another for Nozom. Both procs, neither the actual Infernal, which you can see is coming up in about 20 seconds. We're at almost 50% dampening. It's starting to get really tough for the move, and they've got to be careful here, because if they get pinned against the pillar, similar to what we saw from Method Orange, then they're going to have a real tough time moving forward in this game. Nozom sitting back. He recognizes his win condition is to just avoid death, keep working down Absurge's mana, because he's really starting to feel the pain at this stage.
Yeah, and I'm not sure actually what WizK trinketed there behind that pillar, but he's not going to have his trinket available right now. The Vampiric Embrace as well, trying to help out Absturge in healing up. And Absturge actually sitting down for a drink. WizK now trying to kill the pet as well. And Absturge actually got his stealth off there. You can see the pet swap target. That means that the pet can't see Absturge, even though we can. And there's a Cataclysm as well. I think he did get a decent amount of mana there. Nice kidney shot here onto Oz. It looks like the move. No, they just wanted to kind of just limit the amount of damage while Absturge is drinking. Kind of a defensive kidney shot there by Peekaboo here at 53% dampening, looking to push in and see what he can do here. Nozom is going to have his Unending Resolve. There's one more kidney shot before Nozom is going to have his Unending Resolve. There's no Ironbark right now. Small window of opportunity, but we've seen the move take these windows and run with them. Now Peekaboo is making his way down. Unending Resolve in 5 seconds. WizK has a silence available as well. This could potentially be big cooldowns forced here. Either life swap or the Unending Resolve. There it is. Full silence onto Metaphors. Metaphors making his way towards Absturge to stop the drink. Absturge now should be pushing in, looking for a bash. He's not going to go for it. Instead, he's going to be completely separated from his teams. The Infernals have been dropped here by Nozom. Now Peekaboo and WizK taking a lot of damage. Absturge looking looking to get a re-stealth off so he can sneak over to his teammates, but he can't find it. That Fell Hunter making it really, really hard for him. But Nozom still just taking so much damage. Metaforce is really struggling to keep him alive at this point.
Yeah, I have to say this is one of the first times we've seen the move have to try play from this sort of situation where they're just kind of playing for deep dampening. So I have to see how much experience they have trying to set it up. It looks like Peekaboo's doing a good job just kind of rotating his dots around both players, just generating as much pressure as possible. Kidney shot, triple trinket forced out by the move. Incredible stuff coming in from the team. This is the smoke bomb, no healing incoming over onto Nozom. He's in trouble, he's kicked, has to use the unending resolve, but it's so late in the game. Absurge is struggling as well. Both teams dropping low, 62% dampening, Zico. This is the moment we were waiting for.
Peekaboo getting that kidney shot on the unending result. No answer available for Storm. What are you going to do, Nozom? He goes for the Shadow Fury. Doesn't go for it on Peekaboo though. Gets a full fear. Peekaboo gets dispelled. Lands a nice kick there on the Chaos Bolt. Nice silence here onto Metaphor. Surely there is nothing he can do at this point. Now Peekaboo swapping over to Oz, getting that dispersion immediately out of the way. There is the Void Shift still, last line of defense, and now we can see Oz using his leap of faith, trying to get Nozom back to a decent amount of HP. The Void Shift was used there as well. We can see Metaforce with that Iron Bark, 66% dampening. Metaforce, what are you gonna do to keep these people alive? Chaos Bolt comes out onto WizK, immediately uses his Vampiric Embrace to counter that, and Peekaboo looks like he's just gonna go for a double kill here. Nozom and Oz
it's perfect double kill.
Perfectly set up double kill right there. Strikes, which is, you know, the good stuff that the DK brings.
Yeah, we'll have to see. From the Wizards of Oz to the Vanguards of Oz, I suppose, coming in here on the Paladin. They're going to tunnel down WizK, but I mean, it's anyone's guess if it will work.
All right, let's see if the Retribution Paladin Arms Warrior works out for Storm. As much as we want to criticize it, it could end up doing the work that is required here. Otherwise, I think that Peekaboo and WizK are going to do an overwhelming amount of damage. That the Retribution Paladin doesn't bring in the self-healing or percentage-based heals. Neither does the Arms Warrior, which we can already see is established with both members at around 50% health. Metaphor struggling to recover, manages to pick up Oz. Sheepgod shortly afterwards. Sharpened Blade activated by Sheepgod, looking to generate some pressure with that healing reduction effect towards WizK. Also cleaving down Peekaboo a little bit with the sweeping strikes. Definitely a two-pronged assault, but the Crimson Vial healing and the healing from the Shadow Priest's Leech Essence effect sort of from doing damage and healing themselves is proving to be more than enough for them to be stable. Oz doesn't have that luxury. Sheepgod doesn't have that luxury. Metaforce is crowd controlled and can't heal. Two members are low on health. WizK is likely stripping down all of the heal over time effects from his opponents. Therefore, they are even further exposed. Metaforce finally out of crowd control, looking to pick his team up quickly. They actually switched to Absterge, trying to catch him off guard. Metaforce leading the charge. They actually do manage to bank a Void Shift. This was something that the move didn't look like they were ready for. Storm catch Absterge by surprise and bank a very important cooldown.
I can't help but feel like that was a major overreaction. I mean, Abster still had his Iron Bark available, Safeguard had just proc, but I guess better safe than sorry. I think things are starting to kind of spiral out of control here for Storm. Sheepgod's low, already using the Die by the Sword. Like we kind of talked about, this may be the first game, I think today, that may not enter dampening. Metaphor is now caught into a silence kidney shot onto Sheepgod. There's a lot of pressure here for the move. Oz could rot down. This could be the Divine Shield. Sheepgod could just fall. Metaphors definitely has to play catch up at this point. Look at Absterge in the back. Solar Wrath, Solar Wrath, Solar Wrath. He's just spamming out damage to help out his team. That little bit of extra damage is definitely helpful, but look at the side of Storm. I mean, a cleave like this, you would expect to have a lot more pressure in this type of situation where they have a target like a Shadow Priest with high uptime, but unfortunately they're unable to find it. Divine Shield gets traded out by Oz. Maybe this is just one of those compositions they thought would work, but it doesn't look like it's really doing too much.
I think it's over at this point. Rallying Cry, triple Psychic Scream. Sheepgod looking like he's still alive. Blessing of Protection and Iron Bark buy him time. He stays in it. They go after Absterge. They got to kill him quick if they want to stay in this and put a point on the board, but it doesn't look like he's going down. He's going to be able to escape to safety in that bear form. Oz and Sheepgod are still low on health. Metaphors is almost completely out of mana. A significant impact having percentage-based healing on your team. The Rep Paladin and Warrior not bringing that, so this could just be it. There's no defense remaining. Silence, although Sanctuary was up, I believe Oz could have removed the silence and then Metaphors could have healed. So a bit of a blunder on the side of Storm. The moved to match.
The Retribution Paladin, these guys are going to be able to put out a lot of damage. But the problem for me is if they don't have crowd control on Absterge, feel like he's going to be able to easily heal through it.
All right, let's see if the move can close this out. This is looking like the return for the move. I mean, this composition, to us at least in terms of analysis, makes absolutely no sense from Storm. Restoration Shaman is easily, I would say, the worst healer in the meta right now. Bringing in Arms Warrior, Rep Paladin, they don't really have a lot of self-healing against a Restoration Druid, Assassination Rogue, Shadow Priest. Maybe they can do it. Let's see if they can. Peekaboo's going to switch over to Metaphors. Sanctuary from Oz going to save him. Then Sheepgod switching back to Peekaboo, looking to pressure him away from Metaphors. They play goalie for their healer, managing to force Peekaboo back, although Metaphors did have to exchange his guy's medallion earlier, and the Earthen Wall Totem now as well. Double stun combination here from Storm. Good pressure right now onto Peekaboo and WizK. Absterge, though, in a position far away from the fight, and he's easily healing through it. Metaphor swap 2 again, and remember, Pack Spirit, the Azerite trait for Shamans, was reduced significantly in patch 8.2, so Metaphors will not be able to rely on running around in Ghost Wolf to save himself. He's going to have to use Healing Wave and Healing Surge, which open him up to being interrupted. He fake casts the kick, but then gets silenced on the follow-up. Huge damage. Blessing of Protection buys Metaphors a couple of seconds to stay alive, but now there's still pressure on Sheepgod. WizK pushes forward to dispel it. Chain Heal connects. Metaphor stays alive, but I think a couple more swaps like that, and it's going to be curtains for Storm.
I mean, it's certainly looking to be that way. And let's look at pressure for Storm. WizK taking a little bit of damage. He eats a Wind Shear. Actually forced into the Dispersion. Now there's no Iron Bark. There's no Dispersion. And look at Absterge's mana. He's at around 50% mana, so he is actually having to use a lot. Metaphors gets Shadow Step kicked there by Peekaboo, as Peekaboo is looking to make the offensive push on Metaphors. Garrote Silence comes in. Metaphors really struggling. All three members rotting down. WizK and Peekaboo putting out massive damage. Metaphors trying to keep himself alive. Earthen Wall Totem drops out with the Ascendance. That's a massive heal. Storm completely stabilized off the back of those defensive cooldowns, but without those available, I feel like there is a storm of brewing, and it's definitely a storm in favor of the move.
All right, Metaphor's trying to rep the Shaman, trying to give the Shamans a win out there. If he can manage to do it, it would be quite impressive in the current meta. They do have a significant mana lead, so the pressure is substantial from Oz and Sheepgod, but equally so from WizK with 2 members low on health. Metaphor's Trinket's blind. That now opens up to a swap. He's going to need Oz to protect him with that Blessing of Sanctuary as soon as possible, but now they're all stacked up. Peekaboo goes after Sheepgod. They silence Metaphors. 3 members are low. They're looking for a triple. They got a double in game 1. They're looking for a triple in game number 3, but Peekaboo's overextended. He's caught in a stun. Now into a disarm. Metaphor's trying to get a chain heal. He's worried about an interrupt that isn't actually available. Needs to connect these chain heals. Chain heal definitely effective to heal through this damage output. Unless Metaphors are crowd controlled or interrupted on it, it's certainly efficient. I almost wonder if he should have gone for the Healing Rain Honor talent to dispel damage over time effects. Maybe that could have been quite potent against the Shadow Priest. Absterge is trying to drink. Metaphors is trying to snipe it with the Earthbind Totem. Throws the Totem over. Absterge repositions. I think WizK is just going to trade Void Shift maybe for the drink, but Absterge didn't get too much mana. They're still gunning down Metaphors. He's silenced up. He's going to use the Astral Shift. It's a big chain heal.
Wow.
Big heal there. If there aren't interrupts, that is certainly a powerful heal. Perhaps Storm have potential here. Hammer of Justice on Peekaboo into a disarm. He's going to use evasion, super effective against the Warrior and the Rep Paladin. They're going to have to switch targets to go after WizK instead. Bouncing over there for some time. Sanctuary available. I'm wondering how they're going to navigate through that. Maybe a Psychic Scream on Oz when they stun Metaphors. I feel like this would be the likely strategy, but instead silencing Metaphors and stunning the Warrior. They've done this now twice in a row. It's creating pressure on 2 targets. Peekaboo Shadow steps over for the interrupt. Sanctuary try and protect Metaphors, but Sheepgod is still low on health. This could be a die by the sword. Metaphor stunned on the next heal. Potentially silenced out with the Garrote, not able to find it. Triple Psychic Scream, good follow-up. 2 members are still low. Metaphors needs a chain heal as soon as possible. Goes for it with the Spirit Walker's Grace, is guaranteed to get it, but still only at half health. Absterge, I think, drank to full mana at this point, or at least very high. When he comes out of cat form, we'll know. Not that high, but Metaphors is in trouble. He's silenced. He's going to use the Dwarf Racial to remove the silence, but then is soaking up the Vampiric Touch Dispel. Does manage to get a chain heal. Now into the full kidney shot, no Sanctuary, no Trinket. Oz uses Divine Shield to break out of this crowd control chain to save Metaphors and also be aggressive towards Peekaboo. Perhaps bait the move to go after Oz instead. I think they have to kill Metaphors. That chain heal is quite powerful. But with this crowd control chain, they're looking to close it out. Interrupt into silence. Where's the stun? As soon as that stun is off cooldown, it could be the end of the match. Metaphor is going to pre-Astral Shift. Manages to catch it here right before the silence, absorbing a lot of damage, but now Oz has opened up himself to a swap. Sanctuary's off the kidney shot. Chain heal needs to connect. How many chain heals can they get? They use Psychic Scream to stop it. Metaphors needs more. There's no interrupt for 5. He gets another one. Connecting that. He is actually, I believe, running the chain heal, dispels damage over time effects. This is an interesting strategy from Metaphors overall. Definitely unique to the Restoration Shaman, that cleansing water. So every time chain heal heals, it has a chance to dispel off the damage over time effects of the Shadow Priest. It's actually, I would say, looking pretty solid. A lot better than I would have anticipated in this given matchup. There could still be potential for them to find victory here against the move.
Yeah, I mean, you have Metaphors dispelling off all the VPTs as well as the Shadow Word Pain, and then of course you have Oz dispelling off a lot of those poison effects. So in theory, I mean, this composition isn't too bad. I'm actually really surprised with how much healing Chain Heal is doing in this matchup. Metaphors, every time he gets one of these heals off, he just tops off his team. So it is impressive, but it just feels like the move has most of the pressure, most of the momentum. There hasn't really been any scary moments, whereas for Storm, it's been about barely keeping Metaphor alive consistently over and over and over. Metaphor, once again, looking for some heals. He's getting low in a full kidney shot. There's no Blessing of Sanctuary. There's no Trinket. I think they may have ran out of time. Metaphors could be in trouble. Blessing of Protection gets traded out by Oz. Metaphor is now looking for a chain heal. Big heals on his team. The move? I mean, if you look, Absurge's mana is getting low, but with some of the new essences, like we said, Absurge might be able to just hold on to 10-15% mana for quite a while. Kidney shot now on Oz. The move making plays, trying to go after another member. Metaphor's in a full blind. Oz left all alone, looking for some heals, but he's caught into a silence. Is there any follow-up crowd control? No. Metaphors gets out of the blind. He manages to connect chain heal, keeps his team alive, and this still is not looking good, but maybe there's hope for Storm?
There's no Blessing of Protection to deal with the Vendetta. Peekaboo drops Smoke Bomb on Metaphors. Oz can't support. He runs in. He stuns up Peekaboo. Absurge instantly dispels it. Peekaboo looks to close this out. He's got Kick coming up in 2 more seconds. Can Metaphors deal with the Kick? Absurge is lobbing in Solar Wrath, adding extra damage into the mix, and the move are going to overwhelm Storm in game number 3. A clean 3-0 for the move, and they advance.